I'm already Spado, the accidental gangster. Should all know me by now. And as usual, I'll ask you subscribe and smash that like button. I would appreciate it. Folks, it's been 4 weeks. We're in the week 4 of Nancy Guthrie. I know you all don't want to hear about it anymore. None of us want to hear. Sheridan, Cream, thank you for coming. I thought I was alone here for a while. I should do a little something to warm up or something, all right, before I start talking. But, one thing that you know for sure, folks, is I come to you with my thoughts, how I think as a gangster, okay? I've had a lot of, what do you call it, interactions with law enforcement in my life, okay? A lot. And where should I do this from? Okay? We'll do it over here. As usual, because everybody loves that picture behind me. All right? Mary Bennett, you want to hear? What I'm going to say today is not good news. All right? Is this a homicide that's being investigated? That's what I think. Okay? Because if this was a kidnapping, the kidnappers would have showed something of proof of life that Nancy Guthrie was still with us. I don't think she is. You got to realize they were in that home for a long time. So it wasn't a kidnapping. They wanted something. And it's got to be somebody who knew her in some manner, okay? Could be a relative, okay? Could be somebody who hated her. Why would somebody take an 84-year-old woman? That's not normal, okay? Unless they wanted money. These people don't want money. I think all these reports that TMZ is getting, I think it's all bullshit, okay? I think they're just some comment, all right, trying to get involved and try to get some Bitcoin. And they want $6 million, okay? You know, this Sheriff Nanos, he was investigated by the FBI, all right, for money that was missing. Do you know that 92.5% of his force don't like him, don't think he's a good leader? And it's quite obvious, all right? Now they found some more new DNA. In the 4th week, they find more DNA. Folks, okay? Why didn't they? That whole house should have been shut down. Nobody should have been allowed there. All right? It should have been roped off. Why? After all this time, now they find DNA? You see what I'm talking about? Okay? He wants to get his face on TV as much as he can. Okay? And he'll tell you, oh, I'm working with the FBI. He is not working with the FBI. Okay? And that's the truth. He's not working with them. and he sends the DNA to Florida when the FBI got much more better equipment and faster to be able to find these things. Okay? Folks, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe and start hitting that like button. Come on. Okay? Push that like button, folks. It don't cost you a goddamn penny. Why do I gotta even ask you? Okay? Now there's reports that her heart monitors showed up 200 miles away. 200 miles away, they found something what they do with the sniffer, they call it. Okay? 200 miles. Now, was it 200 miles east, west, north, or south? If it's 200 miles east, you're talking about New Mexico. If you're talking west, you're talking close to California. Talking north, you're talking about Phoenix. And south, you're talking about Mexico. So, why is it there? Why somebody drive? Okay, it takes you about, drive 200 miles, 4.5 hours, say. Okay? Yeah, Mimi, there's somebody in the family. Okay? I think when the sheriff said that the family was all in the clear, I think that was all bullshit. Okay? Come on, folks, hit that like button. Hit that like. I want to see that like button. Okay? Folks, do you know who Nancy Guthrie really is? Alright? She was the mother of Savannah, and her other daughter is Ann, who's older than Stan. Alright? She worked as a public relations professional and community leader in Tucson, Arizona for over 15 years, notably for the University of Arizona Medical Center and the University of Arizona from 1990 until 2007, serving as a spokesperson and program director. She entered the workforce after her husband's death to support her family. She began working in a small business newspaper, the Daily Territorial, before joining the University of Arizona as a spokesperson for the university. Okay? Now, I reported before, adult kidnappings are very rare, especially 84 years old. But adults 21 and years older, all right, keep hitting that like button, come, all right. What happened to your friend? Okay. Who you say he's in the Epstein file? Please tell me who you're talking about. Okay. Come on, folks, keep hitting that like button. All right. So let's talk about this sheriff. Did you know that a few years back he was investigated by the FBI? So obviously he doesn't like the FBI. Okay. His deputy sheriff committed suicide over that investigation because money was missing. All right. Hello, Moonrays. Hello, XRBL. Thank you so much for the respect. Okay. I want to thank you for that. Now, this sheriff is the sheriff of Pima County. Okay. They have about 5 cases a year of homicides. Okay? Now remember, that's not Tucson. Tucson is different. Tucson has over 50 homicides a year. Okay? Now, her home, Nancy's house, in the Catalina foothills area, all right, is 3,776 square foot, single story brick residence. The property has been her home for 50 years. 50. It features 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, and a current market value of approximately 1 million to 1.1 million. All right. Hey, Mandy, good morning, honey. All right. It's really, it's a beautiful home for that area. Okay. 1 story. They're making a big thing about this guy that they got him on camera. Keep hitting that like button. Okay, I want to see 100 likes here. Okay, all right. Still their home. They wanted something. This could be maybe a family member hated her. Possible. Okay, was it lust? No, it wasn't lust. She's 84 years old. I doubt that. Okay, all right. And why would somebody? This is not a random thing that people go out. Nothing was stolen from the house. Seems less likely. I predict she's not alive. Okay? Something happened in that house, and just my speculation here, and I want you to know this is my speculation. Because they were in that house an awful long time. She might have put up a fight or something. They did have a gun, and maybe they killed her. Maybe it was an accident. It don't make a difference how. Okay, all right. But now there was more than one. Trust me. All right, it was probably 2 or 3 people that were involved over here, and so let's say that something happened. They killed her, or she died, had a heart attack, or whatever. So now they're thinking, okay, what to do with the body. Do they leave it there, or they dispose of it? Well, obviously, she hasn't been found there. She hasn't been found on the ground anywhere. They checked every place. Okay. And they haven't checked every place. Okay. Look at, you know, the sheriff's department is small. You know how many FBI agents that they brought in? The FBI has over 400 agents there in Pima County investigating this sheriff. And that sheriff said he's not working with them. He's not. And now he sends this other DNA to his place in Florida and not to the FBI's. Look at you might not like the FBI. Okay, Cash Patel. Okay, might not like them. He's got 400 people there. Okay, that's a lot of agents. And You don't see the lead FBI agent coming out giving you news reports all the time, but you see the sheriff, okay? Folks, I scroll through YouTube. There's one guy, his name's Brian, nice kid, works for Live Nation. He's there 24 hours a day. Now, I don't know which one he posts so many times. I don't know what the latest is. All right, folks, come on. Let's uh let's hit that like button. Come on. Smash that like button and subscribe, folks. Okay? And try to stick around and listen. Okay? Now, I've been to Tucson before. I actually stayed overnight there a couple of times, but it was a long time ago. Yeah, Debbie, we could pray that she's alive. Everybody wants the best for this elderly lady. Look, she's 3 years older than I am. Okay? Elderly, your home should be your safe haven. It should be your safe haven. I'm here in my home. I feel safe. Can people break in and come and get me? Maybe. I mean, my door's locked. I got 3 locks on my door. All right. They come to me and they try to break in here. They're going to have a little problem. But I'm a man. Okay. A woman is a little different. A woman can't defend herself like a man. And so if this was just a robbery, okay, or kidnapping, there was no need for them to dress up, okay, those gloves. And now those gloves look like he had the gloves over other gloves. Did you see that, folks? That's what I think. I think he had another pair of gloves underneath that there, okay? And these gloves that they're finding, I don't believe have anything to do with that at all. Because they're gloves that everybody uses for different things. No. I told you I was in a jewelry business where I used to rob jewelry stores. Okay? Folks, a lot of time we didn't wear gloves. There's a certain thing you could buy at a bowling alley and you put it on your fingers. Okay? Put it all on your fingers. Okay? And no matter what you touch, you don't leave a fingerprint. I gotta tell you a story about in a shopping mall in Boca Raton of a jeweler we robbed. He opens up at 10 o'clock. We get there about 9:45. I knock on the door and he unlocks the door for me. Boom. Once I'm in, me and my partner, we take them. There's a little closet. All right, just a little closet. And we tie them up and we put them. All right? Put them in the closet, lay down. Now we start going into the jewelry case. We're taking stuff out. Okay? And next thing you know, the FedEx guy comes. So we got to let the FedEx guy in. We take him in. We tie him up, put him on top of the guy. Then UPS came. Before we were finished, we had four guys in that closet on top of each other before we got out of there. And we never got caught. Okay? And it was a nice score that we made. All right? I just thought it was funny. 4 people we had. Oh my God. Well, I got stories about the robberies. Oh my God. Another one where we had a pointer, okay? Uh, we had a pointer. You know what a pointer is? We had a guy that was in the jewelry business. He knew the people and jewelry stores, pawn shops, and everything, okay? And keep hitting that like button. Don't forget, okay? So this was in Jupiter, Florida. So I was dressed up like a Federal Express guy. I had a big FedEx box, okay, with this end closed, with the flaps down. My arm was in it, and I had a piece. You know what a piece is, don't you? Okay? I'm sure you do. Okay? Hell, hell hitter. I want to answer that question. Let me get back. Hmm. All right. Larry Lawton. Why does this sound familiar? So anyways, I knock on the door, go Federal Express. Guy says, just leave it, okay? And in the meantime, my partner's hiding in the bushes right over here, okay? I said, sir, you got to sign for it. So he opens the door, and then I put the gun out, turn around. Turns around, I put him on the floor, and we had the ties, okay? Put the ties on us. First thing we check, and now by that time my partner's in, first thing we always check is the freezer. And you know when we check the freezer? A lot of people in the diamond business hide their diamonds in the freezer, okay? And then from there we take them upstairs. Now I got them on the floor, on the bedroom floor. I'm going through his wife's things while my partner's going through the other room. And I tell you, her jewelry was attached to her nylon. I'm pulling nylons on, taking jewelry out. And I looked at the guy and said, boy, your wife's really a slob. Why can't she keep her jewelry in a jewelry box like most women? Oh, and this poor guy, he says, oh, please, he says, I got heart problems. Can you give me my medicine? So I got his medicine. I put it in his mouth. I give him his medicine. And then he said, oh, please, he says, can you leave me some money? We left him $100. Okay? And now, when we left, we knew where his wife worked. She worked at Saks Fifth Avenue in Fort Lauderdale. Now, when me and my partner got away, good distance, we stopped at a payphone, and I called Saks Fifth Avenue. And I asked for his wife. They said, well, she's on the floor. I said, well, don't you have a phone down there? Don't know, sir. I says, can you get a message to her? They said, yes, we can get the message. I said, would you please tell her that her husband has just been robbed and he's tied up on the bedroom floor? Oh, she's writing this down. I said, will you make sure she gets that message? She says, yeah. She said, and who's calling? I said, the robbers. And then I hung up. Guess what? They never got the message to her. She got home a little after 5. She finds her husband still tied up on the bedroom floor, and we had the wraps, the plastic ties around his wrists and his feet. Now, who do you think the first person he calls? Oh, and I tell him, I sat on top of him. I says, now, You tell. You call the police. We're gonna know. You don't want to. I scared the shit out of them. All right. Uh, yeah. And so he refused to call the cops. His wife did. The cops didn't believe him. Okay. They thought he set up the robbery. Okay, and he didn't. Come on, folks. We're getting those likes up there. All right. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. All right. Help this channel out, folks. All right. So now, the next day, he calls the guy who gave us the tip. He said, meet me at the coffee shop, okay? Little restaurant. And so they meet. Now, he's telling our pointer, oh, you gotta be careful. You're gonna be next. Look at, they got this guy, this guy, this guy. My friend goes, yeah. Now, in the meantime, this guy was black and blue around his wrist and around his ankles. Okay? A girl walks in who knows this guy and says, Tony, how are you? She says, Tony, I didn't know you were in that kind of sex. Oh, I mean, here's a guy that got robbed. I mean, it was over $200,000 for it, okay, that we ended up with. All right, but the poor guy had to take abuse because, all right, because he had black and blue, all right, from a girl saying, I didn't know you were involved in that kind of sex. Oh, that was a crazy one. I thought so. All right. Oh, no, folks, I don't know what's going to happen. We're not going. This could become an unsolved case with Nancy Guthrie. It's sad to say, but I think that's how it's going to end up. Okay? And this year, the people that are working on the sheriff's in the sheriff company, they're not his top detectives because when it came out that they didn't like him, he put them on assignments like street patrol and desk jobs, and most of these guys are new cops. Okay, I've done some research here, folks. All right, so I hope you could appreciate that there. Okay, we got 83 likes. Come on, folks, hit that like button. Boom, 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 boom. Come on, let's hit that like button. Let me see it go to 100. Okay? Have I ever been caught? No, we were never caught for none of those. All right? All right? I wasn't in Alcatraz. It was closed. But, the new Alcatraz was Lampo USP, which I was in the medium. I was not in the USP over there in Lampo. All right, folks, can we get 12 more likes here? All right. Did I ever wear? I used to wear a pinky ring. All right, that's all I ever wore. Okay. I did have a gold bracelet, but I never wore it. I wasn't that kind of a guy. You know what I mean? All right. Eh, I was in prison on a Colombo crime family indictment. All right, folks, we're at 92. Hit that like. Keep hitting it, okay? Somebody said I wasted my whole life. No, I didn't waste my life. It was my life. It was my destiny. And I take full responsibility for everything I did in my life. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay? I take responsibility for it. All right? I know what I did. So, Justin, you've been in jail for fighting. All right, folks, come on. Four more. All right. Yeah, Mike and I, we talk occasionally there, my friend. Okay, fence guy, I guess you're just perfect. Okay? I guess you're the guy they put on the cross. Okay? You want to say I lived my life with sin. You goddamn right I did, and I made a lot of money. How about you? Alright? I never ratted out anybody in my entire life. My entire life. I never. Come on, folks. Who's going to be number 100 over here? We got 99. Come on, somebody hit that like button, make it 100. There it is. Who was that? All right? All men sin, folks. Okay, there's a lot of ways of sinning. And man and woman sin. It's just not just the men. Well, what do you think about this young man yesterday at Mar-a-Lago? Okay, to get shot. Had a gun and a gas tank. What? And he dropped the gun. Maybe he just wanted to die. Okay, because you point the gun at law enforcement, you could bet your boots they're gonna shoot. Okay, and there were a lot of cops that shot that young man, 20 something years old. Okay. Folks, have you subscribed to my channel yet? Have you hit that like button? Don't stop, please. Okay, I don't want to keep asking you. All right. It's a respectful thing to do, folks, because I take my time to come here. All right. So the respectful thing to do is subscribe and hit that like button. Okay. Oh boy, this fence guy. I like you. Okay. I like you. Do you read the Bible, Mr. Fence? Okay, I'm going to call you Mr. Fence. Do you read the Bible? Uh, yes, I'm a gangster, and I enjoy being a gangster, folks. I enjoyed every minute of it. Don't think I didn't. Okay? And you know why I'm still here? Because I never read it. That's why I'm still alive. You know why? I live by respect, honor, loyalty. Let me repeat that. Respect, honor, and loyalty. We don't see much respect in our young men anymore. Okay? And if you go on YouTube and you look and you see all these gangsters who got most views, they're all rats. And that what tells me is all those people that subscribe to their channel are rats or rats in the making, learning to be a rat. Okay? I was very young. Okay? My father told me before he went to work he wanted me to spade the garden. We had a big, enormous garden. We grew tomatoes, peppers, different things. And I stole 50 cents from my mother, and I hired a kid I went to school with, big, tall, tough kid, Lauren Trombley. All right? And I paid him 50 cents, and he spaded the garden. All right? And when my father came home from work that day, he said, "Oh, you did a great job." Not my younger sister. We were in the backyard. All right? But my father's commending me for spading the garden. And my sister says, "He didn't do it. He hired Lauren Trombley. And he didn't do it." You know what my father did? He spanked my sister. Huh? Remember, he spanked my sister. And he said, you never snitch on anybody. I was maybe 12 years old at the time. That's when I learned that you never snitch on anybody. And after he spanked my sister, you know what he told me to do? He made me re-spade the garden. Oh, that's how it worked. Yeah, I'm Calabrese, Frankie. Yeah, I am. Magadino. Alright? From Buffalo. I knew him. Alright? Oh, this fence guy, he thinks he knows everything about organized crime. Oh, but he doesn't know anything. I love these people who want to say things. You bet your ass, troll. Troll Z. Okay, look at folks at that ridiculous comment he left. Alright? None of my children are wrecks. All my children are respectful, honorable, loyalty. They would never, I never ever write something like that there. So obviously you didn't learn respect. Come on, folks. Have you subscribed? Have you hit that like button? Come on. Keep doing it, folks. Keep hitting it. Nobody in this world is perfect. I drink my coffee black. And I make Sumatra, and I mix it with espresso. So, and I have 4 cups of those and in the morning. Yes, I play poker, but I'm mainly a blackjack player. Okay? No, I'm not Joseph Colombo. I'm Ori Spado. No, no, Mary, I'm not married. I'm a single guy. Well, folks, I want to thank you all for coming here today. I wanted to share that with you. Unfortunately, I think Nancy Guthrie is no longer with us, and this is going, if they do find the body, then it's a homicide investigation. So, I, I began going to Las Vegas in the 60s. My comment, okay? No, I'm not going to move there. Uh, but I was going to Vegas in the old days when things were good. I never paid for nothing, okay? Not the room, not breakfast, lunch, or dinner, all comp. The shows, all comp. Guess what? They even sent girls to my room, free of charge, okay? That's how Vegas was there in the old days. Corporate took it over. I heard, I don't know if it's true, anybody been there? Okay. In the room, they charge 30 something dollars for a bottle of water? Are you serious? Thank you, Justin. Everybody, you all have a great day. All my love and respect to you all. God bless you all. Take care. Bye bye.